somebody's gonna like this. And that was the only painting that sold. Don't buy a printer. Hi, today I'm going to be talking about tips for starting an online art business. So my channel helps beginner painters paint the work that they imagine in their mind that they don't know how, as well as recentering myself whenever I'm feeling uninspired, and talking about tips about starting an online art business. So this video was inspired by a video by Kelsey Rodriguez where she was sharing her tips on starting an online art business, and I wanted to add to that by sharing some things that I learned from my own experience. So basically, tip number one is to sell work that you believe is good. So for me, when I first started my online art business, I was on Etsy and I put on about like 10 artworks that, I thought were okay, but some of them, most of them I wasn't really in love with. So there was one painting that I really liked, and I was like, okay, this one, like, somebody's gonna like this. And that was the only painting that sold. I made 10 prints of each one of these paintings, and that print was that one almost sold out. And it was like a beautiful watercolor I did of a building in Paris. So yeah, sell work that you believe is good, because it's basically creating like a standard for yourself, what's acceptable for you and what your collectors or customers should be expecting from you. You know what I mean? Tip number 2 is to sell original work. Now, I know I just talked about selling prints, but prints can be a lot of work if you try to do it the way I try to do it. It's the same amount of work, like shipping and packaging and taking it to the post office. You're doing that for an item that is going to profit you. It's going to bring in less money for you, and you're spending the same amount of time. In fact, for me, the way I was doing it, it was taking more time because I bought a printer. Don't buy a printer, okay? I bought a printer, I bought a paper cutter, all these different supplies, thinking like I'm going to cut up all these prints, I'm going to make greeting cards, and that was like not a good business move for me because it was just taking a lot of time, and I didn't even test out if people wanted these prints and greeting cards. You know what I mean? I was just doing it because I was like, oh, I want to do this. Like, I want to print because, I'm so used to like working in a way of, selling a lot of product and, doing the work to make that money. Like that was, like I used to work in an ice cream, well, it wasn't a store, but like I sold ice cream when I was in school, and, like exchanging money, it was just like small product money and just like doing that over and over again. And that's not really like the best business plan. You want to sell work that is going to bring in more money, it's similar to like real estate, selling a inexpensive house it takes the same amount of work to make a sale as a more expensive house. So, value your time and raise your price. So tip number 3 is to do not try to sell a lot of cheap things. Sort of relates to, my ice cream story, which is basically, I was thinking in the mind of the stores that I saw, in my community. You have your big box stores, your grocery stores, and they all have, hundreds and thousands of products. You cannot afford to have that much inventory, and you do not have the reach of advertising and marketing budgets. And you're not a household name, so you cannot sell millions of products for $5. You know what I mean? So you have to increase your price, limit your supply, basically make your business benefit you, and not make it like you're in a hamster wheel and just chasing a sale. You know what I mean? Not chasing a sale, but you don't ever want a sale to be a burden to you, because a sale should just, more sales should be a good thing. It shouldn't be oh my gosh, now I have to do all these things to deliver. You know what I mean? All right, so the last thing, I kind of mentioned it already, is to raise your prices. So that print that I sold, it was the painting of Paris. The very first time I sold it, I sold that print for $15. Now, the last time I sold it for $60. Same amount of work, same painting, same product, and people were willing to buy it at every price that I sold it for. You're an artist, you're creating a beautiful, unique thing, so you should value it at that, value it higher. And because people want it. There are people who want what you are creating, and I don't know, it's they're gonna think what's wrong with it? Why is she selling this beautiful thing? Oh wow, this is a steal, you know what I mean? And you don't want to be like that, and you don't, and also don't think about it's there's different kinds of customers out here. The person who is buying the art, well, actually, no, not even buying the art, somebody who doesn't even buy art, that's not going to be your customer. You're not going to try to sell something to that person. You want to sell to the people that love and appreciate art, and they're willing to pay for it. Yeah. So basically, those are my points. Those are the things I wanted to add. So if you have any thoughts, or if you want to share something that I might have missed, please leave it in the comments below. I'll try to get back to you, or maybe I'll make a video about it. You can watch some of my other videos. I haven't posted in a while. This is my first video in many months. So you can check out my older videos, see what I was talking about then. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe or share. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, just stay on, please. Oh gosh, I've tried to film this thing. This is the fourth time I'm trying to film this. Anyway,